Good afternoon, Kathy. For my science poster, I chose to do, my question was, how do you incorporate Mi'kmaq culture in science? So to begin, we're going to start with my introduction, and then we're going to talk about why it's important. So my introduction, incorporating Mi'kmaq culture in science encourages students to become connected to the world around them, thus translating the idea that we are all related and connected to each other. Showing students that they are part of a whole rather than a singular. Adaptations to classrooms, including hands-on experiences outside of the classroom, will allow the students to become a part of the community within the classroom, to create valuable insight by using their senses to understand the world around them. Language and ceremonial practices are key components to the success of an integrated science experience. Why is this important? Incorporating the Mi'kmaq culture into the science classroom is important because it allows the students to make connections between themselves and the world around them, giving the students an opportunity to see that everything is living and has a spirit while encouraging the use of natural instincts. Furthermore, two-eyed seeing creates a bridge between Western science and Indigenous science. So the next thing I'm going to discuss are the bulk of my presentation. I broke it down into three components: language, grassroots perspective, and the two-eyed seeing integrated science approach. Language. Teaching students in Mi'kmaq is important because Mi'kmaq students will have a better understanding of science while making connections to their own lives. Students will gain more words when speaking about science in Mi'kmaq to other Mi'kmaq students, their friends, and families, while teaching other students in the class different words that they'll be able to utilize in the Mi'kmaq culture, thus encouraging and supporting the importance of one's language. Furthermore, showing a connection between the Mi'kmaq world and Western society in the ways of science. Supporting and encouraging diversity through teaching methods and cultural-focused lessons will enhance the students' learning experience while revitalizing the students to feel proud of their language and diversity, thus passing it down to the next generation. The next topic is grassroots perspective. While consulting with grassroots people of Mi'kmaq ancestry, I discovered that along with language, encouraging hands-on life experiences was imperative to the learning process of the students. It was suggested through a Millbrook First Nations community member, Bernadette Sillaboy, that students should get out and fish and hunt. They need to see how things are done. They need to experience it and be able to create their own ideas of it. She also stated that learning our traditions all boils down to our language. Our traditions are the foundations of our values and beliefs. The next topic is two-eyed seeing integrated science. The two-eyed seeing approach was developed by Albert Marshall and his wife, Merdina Marshall. This approach explores Western sciences and Indigenous sciences, showing how both ways of thinking are important to teaching science. Western science encourages a disconnection between the observer and the observation and focuses more on the end result and how the universe works, while Indigenous science supports the idea that the learner is immediately connected and intimately connected to what they are observing, and the process of the experience is more important than the end result. This way of learning leads to teaching from an integrated science approach. Next, we're going to move on to the discussion. The two-eyed seeing approach focuses on the integrated science approach. It shows that in order to incorporate the Mi'kmaq culture into the science classroom, students need to have an understanding of the foundation of the culture and their practices, such as the talking circle, using the drum, our songs, the sacred medicines. As the Mi'kmaq culture is built and connected within a circle, this can be done by inviting an elder into the classroom. The elder can begin by sharing a smudge and begin with a talking circle. This will give all students an opportunity to communicate what they're feeling and their thoughts and ideas without feeling that they're going to be judged. Additionally, changing the setting of the classroom will allow for a more diverse experience. So changing the setting of the classroom with seasons will allow them to be able to explore, encourage them to explore the seasons around them. Furthermore, this article explores the idea that children are not dictated to, but rather they are supported to use their senses in a way of exploring the world around them. So implications that I used. Recognize the importance of language, verbal and nonverbal, and types of language. Tell stories about your school and past students to make connections for the students. Use celebrations and rituals to give students a sense of connection to their community. Value, trust, and be authentic with your students. Use a nurturing voice to encourage students to speak freely and openly without them feeling embarrassed. Include project-based activities that include like their parents, their community, their friends. Focus on the process of the projects and the activities rather than the outcome. The methods I used to find the answers to my question. Facebook was a method that I used in order to connect with grassroots people throughout Nova Scotia to gain an understanding and perspective of the importance of the Mi'kmaq culture in teaching science. This is my way of consulting with the Mi'kmaq community first. Next, I used Google Scholar. It was also an important tool that I used to find information, searching keywords like Mi'kmaq language, petroglyphs, teaching Mi'kmaq science, elementary, Mi'kmaq elder Albert Marshall. And the third method I used was a science textbook, Teaching Science for All Students, Chapter 3. So my references here, I have them listed here to my methods. So you'll notice here that I have these little people represent the students in my class. I place them this way to make it look like they're in a circle, because in a circle nobody is less or greater than the other person. They're all equal. I also have a drum here with drumsticks so that they can start to utilize the foundation of our culture so that they can start using their senses and exploring the Mi'kmaq science perspective. So this is my project, and I want to thank you for taking the time to listen to my project, and have a great day.